Hey garden friends, I had ordered a few months ago some bargain rack hydrangeas, and we'll get into potting them up, how I'm going to overwinter them since they're so small and scrawny, and how you can too. So let's get rolling. Okay, hydrangeas. These are paniculata, what I think pina colada is what I think. When I think of these, no, these aren't. These are not. These are the arborescents, I do believe. This is White Invinci hydrangea. This is, I think it's supposed to be a shorter version of the Incredible. And this is the big one. So I got two of the small ones and one of the large one. And they, like I said, they were on the bargain rack or on a deep discount sale. Now, they were about $10, deeply discounted, and that was with shipping. So I'd never seen these under $30. But when I got them, the box was smashed, crushed, and these little things were very sad looking. I don't think I saved the video my sister or picture sister took of them because they arrived when I was on vacation. And yeah, anyways, they survived. They're tougher than you think, and they even have a bunch of new growth. I mean, look at this. Isn't that pretty? So we're going to get them potted up. Now, here in my zone, I'm going to talk to you while I do this. In my zone, I do not have to keep them inside my greenhouse. They are very hardy in my 8B area. So I can just put them outside wherever I wish. Now, this has got a pretty good root system on it. Let me see. Perfect fit. Now this is my DIY potting soil, and I didn't have very much perlite, so I added some horticultural sand to keep it looser. And then I don't know what this is. This was I got for potting this spring, and it is I think it's either coconut coir or peat moss, and that helps to retain moisture. Yeah, I wasn't really impressed with it. So, and if I would have known, I try to avoid those two products because of their environmental impact. Yeah, I didn't know that it was this stuff. It just said some kind of pro mix or something. Anyways, pretty powdery. So anyways, my DIY, I need to do a whole new one because my video I have on my DIY potting mix, I have changed the recipe for one thing, and it's very old. So, and I think my sound was pretty bad then. So I'm just potting this up. Now normally I would soak in organic rev, but I didn't take the time, and I would do that for about half an hour. I didn't take the time to do it because it's been one of those days. And when I want to get in and get something done, I just want to, but I can water it in with it. What, you think there's something in here, Missy? She's coming in here. They always think I've got something great in here when they have the whole garden to pick at. Of course, I am the one that throws them their chicken crack, huh? Your scratch. Anyway, so there's one, and I'm going to get me a little container to let it soak in. I guess I could go ahead and use the tray that they're in. And I'm going to go ahead and mix up some organic rev to put in it. So let me see, where's that stuff at? Did I have it up front? Oh, here it is. That's what the bottle looks like, organic rev. Now this is a root stimulant, and it helps the roots talk to the soil, or the, what do they call it, microbes? So that's my understanding. You can read all about it on their website. So let me get my hose and put it in here. I'm just gonna fill up this little tray a little bit. Yeah, my poor tabletop. This is an old door, and it's gotten moist and whatever, and so it's concave now, and quite challenging. We have two more doors sitting out there that I could just replace this one with, but I had wanted to put a smaller table in here because I have a tendency to stack things on any table I have, and I don't need to. Girls, there's nothing in here. Yeah, I just want to say, you guys amazed me with your response to my last video on Google not liking me. And yeah, thank you very much. And I've been doing research on how to get videos pushed out to more people other than your subscribers on YouTube. And it's when I post a video and my subscribers, regular followers, they hop on and watch the video in its entirety. And then they go, oh, well, everybody likes it. So they push it out or recommend it to others. So my question is, when would be a good time for me to post videos? I'm aiming for 1 to 2 a week. That's realistic for me. And sometimes I could do more, but for 1 or 2 per week, which days and what time works best for you? Let me know, and we'll see if I can manage to do that. And who knows what will transpire. Now, I wanted to look up the White Invinci and give you the stats on that because it is very interesting. I should say educational. So now I was going to tell you what zone it was hardy in. And I think it's 3 through, I'll read you the statistics on it. Sorry when I slur, my braces make me do that when I say S's. Okay, so it is hardy in zones 3 through 8. I'm an 8. And then it says features. The biggest thing to happen to hydrangeas happens to be tiny. Invincibel wee white hydrangea is positively groundbreaking. It's the first dwarf Annabelle type hydrangea in the world. And it is from Proven Winners. It says this cute little landscape plant ensures that any landscape can enjoy the reliability, low maintenance, and season-long beauty of hydrangeas. This one, it's really small. It reaches just 1 foot to 2.5 feet. So it really does stay small. It grows tidy and rounded mound. And each flower emerges almost white, blush pink before changing to creamy white. And it's held up on strong supportive stem for a display that looks more like a bouquet of flowers than a landscape plant. Blooming begins in early summer and continues through frost. Sounds like a nice long bloom, with new flowers appearing the whole time. Versatile and floriferous. So yeah, that's what sold me on it. It said it became available in 2018. And yeah, it's supposed to be just an absolute stunner. And the other one is Annabelle. Is an Annabelle, and it's called Incredible, and it's a big one. Let me type in Incredible. Incredible hydrangea. Okay. It's another Proven Winners too. And it's supposed to be like the Annabelle except stronger. And it's also hardy in zone 3 through 8. So that's a pretty wide range. So supersized flowers, Incredible hydrangea will make you say, wow. Let me see how tall it gets. Supposedly won't flop. I'm sure it'll take it a few years to get the sturdy stems. That hummingbird was talking to me. Let me check his feeder. Oh, yeah, he's got a little bit still to go. Okay, I wanted to see how tall. Garden height, 48 to 60 inches, so almost 5 feet. Can you hear him? How about I talk and I'll point the camera at him? Yeah, so that's the other one I've got. I'm sure it's going to take it a few years to get that height, but I just wanted to stop in here and give you the stats on those plants and tell you thank you for all your kind words about my last post. All right, let's get back to more planting up. Okay, back to the task at hand. Now that you've gotten to see my ladies, I'm just pouring in about a tablespoon or 2. You don't have to be super precise with it. It is just wonderful no matter what at helping. There's a lot of testimonials of people that have had significant results with this, and really good results. One gal, she had got some of that tainted straw or manure because some of the farmers are using this. I can never remember the name of it. I'll put it up but it is an herbicide that gets into, when the cows eat it, it doesn't compost away, and it can damage your soil. And she used this. She had evidence that she had used some manure that was tainted with it, used the Rev, and her plants revived. Yeah, because when you use that, it'll really affect tomato plants, is one of the major ones. So, yeah, I wish they wouldn't use things like that. Alrighty, so there, we're going to let this soak. Can you see back here? Yeah, good enough. And while, oh, wait a minute, I should make sure I write down, and this one is incredible. Yeah, always keep track of things. I have a tendency to get going and forget. So let me write incredible. Incredible. Terrible handwriting. I should have wrote that. Then I will put Invincible. Make sure I got it right here. White Invincible. Okay. White Invincible. Now, I also should probably do a tag, because sometimes it gets wiped off that. All right, this is black. It won't show up as well on black. Let me see if I got another color here. All right, sorry, girls. Invincible. I don't know what the rest of it is from looking at the other one, so I don't have to write the whole thing. All right, so I'm going to do the same with these. Now, for me, I started on this, didn't I, I don't have to keep them inside when I am overwintering them, because I'm at the top end of their zone, the hardiness zone. I'm an 8B. From my understanding, and I will write the zones on the screen because I don't know it right this second, unless it's written on there. No, it's not. But many of them are hardy down to zone 3. So that means in a pot, it would live outside down to a zone 5. I'm a zone 8, so I could live it outside, no big deal. I'll get this. If this is hardy to zone 4 and you are zone 6, it would be safe to keep it in container outside. But if you were a zone 4, then no, it wouldn't work, because you need to go up 2 zones to know whether or not, from its lowest zone, hardiness zone, then you will be on the mark. Did that make sense? Anyways, so for me, it's better for these to overwinter outside, because in here, this one, I tend to get what's called snow mold or greenhouse mold. That is just devastating to many plants. I'm going to try to be better on top of it this year. And I think that's because I don't get a lot of sun in here during the winter. The sun is so low in the sky, and there's tall trees on my neighbor's property that block it. But my other little greenhouse gets sun. So that one does not seem to suffer from the snow mold. Now I just put it in there and it'll absorb the water from the bottom. So, and then I'll go ahead and put some on top as well once I'm done with this one. Now, if you are in a lower zone, they say you can do a lot of things. You can bury them in the ground, and that protects the roots because the ground will stay warmer than the air around it, and then it won't freeze through. So the thing is, you don't want it to freeze through hard, solid, and that just is not good for the plant. So if there's any way to protect it, sorry. And what I mean by that is I've seen people who have put up bales of straw, and they've put them all within the insulation of those bales of straw. And there you put a lot of plants in there. You could put them up against a house. You could put other plants in front of them that are in containers that take the brunt of the cold, with the more tender plants up against the wall. You can put them, once they're dormant, they must be dormant, in an unheated garage and or unheated greenhouse. And it should work. It should work to protect them. Like I said, I haven't experienced that, so I don't know for sure. And so ask around. You may have gardening neighbors or a local nursery that could tell you, give you a hint. Should have probably dampen this down a little bit. Boy, it's sure powdery, huh? Okay, so there they are planted up. I am going to sweep this stuff off into my tub here. Acorns falling from the tree. There's an oak tree right behind it. Okay, so now I will get a little bit of water. I usually have my tub here that I have my hose in, but I was washing it out and I didn't bring it back in. I brought this lavender in to spruce it up. We are supposed to get our first freeze in a few days. This is Friday. On Monday, we're supposed to get our first freeze. We will see if that happens. Let me take some of this out because I want there to be a divot so the water has a reservoir to go into and not just go over the top. Okay, so we will let that soak, and I will come in here and I will prune off. There's some dead pieces, or pieces that are looking dead. Yeah, not looking good. I'll cut it back to a nice leaf. This thing looks a little scruffy. Yep, I'm going to take that one back. Now anything that's damaged and broken, I mean, it'll just try to revive that. You don't want that to put the energy into that. You want it to put into the putting down roots, expanding their roots. So all of these little dried bits. Now some of them do have a little leaf coming out of it, but that's okay. Like this one. Let me pull you closer. See how that one's dead? See that one right there? So that one I will cut back, and right down there's a leaf coming out at the base of that. So I will do that one. Okay. Some of this yellowing leaves. Yeah, I've been running around today trying to get things cleaned up, organized. There were some people, well, some guys working, they had big machines on the power lines, so we didn't have power for a couple of days, a couple of hours. It's better than a couple of days. Okay. Yeah, these will be ready. I'm going to put mine right out beside here, or I also have a table back by my garage. I'll point the camera out there. It's a big mess. I'm just getting it all set up. I could put it under the table. The only thing about, you want them to get the moisture they need, so I'm not exactly sure where I could put them. Oh, you know what? I could put them in the raised bed over there by the bespoke greenhouse. There's a lot of options, but I just wanted it somewhere that I could keep track of them. So that's always a good idea, where you could check them, make sure they're still moist if you're having a dry spell, and yeah, where they won't get the brunt of hard freezes. Okay, my friends, I will find a spot for them, and then I'll show you where I put them. And that, my friends, is my potting up of my little hydrangeas. They went from these one little quarts to, these are called a gallon, I think. And I will find a spot for them after. I want them to get good and soak up a lot of this good organic Rev water and get good and moist. And then I will place them outside. Like I said, I do not need to keep them in the greenhouse. This greenhouse gets pretty packed in spring, and I just don't have room for them. For now, I can leave them in here until I absorb this water, get going. I can even leave them in here for a few days before I find a spot for them out in the garden. And that's where they will stay all winter. But if you need to, you can keep them in an unheated garage, up against your house, bury them in the soil. Any of those options if you live in a very cold zone and they need the added protection. Now this would work for, well, you know what? Paniculata hydrangeas. I only had gotten one that was this small, and it took it a long time to get bigger. So the cost savings for buying the small one to me wasn't worth it for as long as I had to wait for it to get bigger. And I did lose a couple. So that was a lesson for me that I need to buy them in a bigger size. Save up. If I could only get one, then get one, and then save up again and get another one, rather than going with these little ones. Only reason I went with these real little ones is I have not seen these in the garden centers around me, as well as they were marked so low, and I figured I would keep them in containers until they were big enough to put out in the ground safely. So that was my reasoning on that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you next time, where we're going to be doing some more getting ready for winter and cleanup and all of that above. And some of it's going to be in here. So I'll see you then.